Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Just Shelve It over here on YouTube. My name is Jesse Arnold. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with me today. I don't know if this is working. Trying to test this out. This is interesting. I hear a bit of an echo somewhere, so I don't know if anyone else is hearing that echo or where that sound is coming from. Excuse me. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of an introduction here just to get things started before we got into the proper the bulk of the stuff. I'm trying to figure out my excuse me, my lighting and everything is just really all over the place. I have so many lights on my table because I usually don't have my overhead lights on, and I just like to see what I'm working on. So let's see. Hey, somebody's watching. I don't know if... Can you hear me if you're watching? I don't know if I can see the comments or not. I'm totally new to this software and seeing if this works or not. It says I should be able to see comments. I don't know. As my giant hand hits the camera. So hello, welcome to the show. I started a little early, like I said, just to get things started a little bit. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Mythic Legions Cabal group over on Facebook. There's so many awesome people over there that I'm getting to know and interact with, and I'm having a really great time getting to know everybody over there. Excuse me. And it's just been a lot of fun getting into that community and seeing what that whole world is all about. It just really helped get into, excuse me, the whole Mythic Legions in general. Man, I'm off to a great start here. Yeah, so Mythic Legions Cabal on the Facebook group. So Walter and Cullen, all the admins over there, I think you guys do a really great job. And all the people who are constantly posting their pop and swaps or their full customs, whatever it is they're doing, it's just really cool to be able to see everything that you guys are doing. It's very inspirational for me. I'm enjoying seeing what everybody comes up with. One of the things I'm going to do today is a piece I got from the Legion shop sale a couple weeks back, and I saw someone do what I was originally going to do, just because I hadn't seen anyone do it yet. But I'm going to do something different. I have a different idea that because of a post I saw in the Cabal, I think it was the Cabal, maybe it was on Instagram, that someone did with that piece. Gave me a different idea, so I'm going to take that one in a different direction. So, yeah. What do we got? So I went ahead and I prepped all my stuff today. I got it all primed, ready to go before I got started. And I realized that some of my primer, I was a little sloppy. I didn't get everything quite accurately covered with the primer, but that's okay. I mainly wanted to get the bulk of it done. And normally I only prime stuff when it's 3D printed, so like an original piece, like the head and the hands and feet here from Legion shop. I'm gonna blank on everybody's name because I'm talking, but I know it's this Jeremy Gerard design. I don't want to say the wrong name of people who worked on it, so if you know who worked on this, feel free to drop a comment or message on the video to give the correct shout out to where they belong. But I got this in a trade with, oh shoot. I just went blank on who I got these in a trade. I traded some stuff, and they sent me a ton of stuff, which is always a surprise when people go above and beyond. And yeah, so I got this whole set of the gnome pieces or halfling pieces. So these are not primed because I'm not going to paint these today. But these are actually the head. The head is primed. I don't know if you can tell with the way the lights are here. I'll try to. So the head's slightly darker gray than the hands and the shoes, which are part of the kit. And the head has been primed because I primed a couple heads the other night, but I did not prime the hands and feet yet because I'm not going to commit to the hands and feet. I think I have a different body I'm going to put this on eventually, but for now I just wanted to see how it looked, and this is really cool. You just take the knees off of a goblin builder and pop on the feet right onto the knee peg, and it still has the ankle articulation where it should be. It's just using the knee joint to do it. So, okay. See, it's right about 4 o'clock, so I think I'm going to switch over to adding my other camera on so you can see the paint itself, and try not to get confused by my coffee mug that is my paint water versus my can of soda over here. All right, so there it is. Thanks for joining. If you're here, if you're watching this on replay later, I really appreciate it. I don't know how long this will go. I don't know how long I can do this through this program, but we're going to see how it goes, and you know, just see how it goes. So, all right, let's get this camera loaded up here. There we go. All right, so I apologize for the lighting again. I have limited desk space, and I'm trying to get good lighting so you can see what I'm doing, so I can see what I'm doing, and this really weird time lapse between the camera shots here. So the first thing I'm going to work on is I got this McFarlane Frost Giant, Ice Giant, whatever, a couple months ago, and I didn't really care for the head because I got it to put with my Mythic Legions, and I just did not quite care for the head. And then I got, I believe it was from Len LaGuardia and Wolf King Customs, I got this head that I thought would look really cool on this body. So I'm going to paint this head to match this body and see what happens. So yeah, here it is. I don't know if you can see that any better or not over there. But it is an ogre scale head to go on one of the 4 horsemen ogre scale bodies. But I thought that looked really fun on that Frost Giant. I have a couple ogre scale figures, but none that I think worked for this head. So I'm going to paint that into that light frosty blue. So let's see. So these figures were some Star Wars figures or Marvel Legends or different figures I got that I was going to customize, and I never got around to it. So now they are my head holders for painting, so I don't have to touch the wet paint. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So I don't use a lot of fancy paints. It's mostly folk art, apple barrel stuff, and some deco art from like Walmart craft section. I do have some color shift, which is also folk art. I have one thing, a Turbo Dork Army Painter. I got these for some different stuff, and I have a few Citadels that are more like the technical paints for effects and different things. So I'm going to start off and see how this this baby blue Gives me a decent base. I'm going to mix it with a little gray, I think, to get this started here. So this paint is really runny. It's old. I got these paints years ago to do D&D mini painting. That's where I started learning how to do all this stuff, and hung out with some friends from my D&D group a couple times to do the painting, and just kind of ran with it. Since I got into Mythic Legions, I've watched some of Jeremy Gerard's videos over on his Mythic Customs channel and his Mythic Conversations, which are always fun to check out, which kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing here today. So hello to you guys viewing. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope so. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to see comments, if there are any happening. I don't see them. So I apologize. I'm doing this completely blind, I guess. Let's see. We'll throw this little dark granite in there just a little bit. This is a newer one. I just got this week. And my fancy technique of using a toothpick to mix my paint, which is not doing a whole lot at the moment. Oh, there we go. So I cleaned up my palette all nice and neat for the show today. It was so caked on and layered up with all this paint. And when I would mix on it, with a toothpick would catch on the dry paint below, and it would catch and flick. And with my camera, my phone and iPad here set up to record, I didn't want to like flick paint all over the screens and have to clean that up later. So, yeah. Hey, if any of you are watching, I don't know if you can leave a comment. Hey, there we go. Dan, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. So, can you hear me? We can see if I get a response to that. Can you hear me talking, or is it just video? All right. So we've got this guy, and we've got, yes, loud and clear. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Dan. All right. Well, that makes me feel better. Thank you very much for letting me know that. And we'll just get right into it here. Try to hold this into a spot where it can be seen. How are you doing today, Dan? What's going on? Anything interesting in your neck of the world? Ooh, that's really bright. That's all right. It should dry a little bit darker. I might need a little bit more tack on there. Thank you very much, Dan. It looks like my stuff is a little delayed to what I'm actually doing. So where'd my tack go? There we go. Sorry, probably really loud. It's all a learning experience, right? Now, I do not. Okay. Well, hopefully you can learn something, and I don't teach you any bad habits. I am by no means an expert. I'm just a guy who likes to do this stuff, and thought it'd be fun to try to see how this goes. So I've got my Wolf King troll head, ogre head, whatever it is. I think it's Wolf King. Again, I apologize if I'm saying the wrong places. I did not, like I said, I got this in a trade, or someone sent it to me with some other stuff, so I don't quite remember where I got it from or who the actual designer is for. So, yeah, not an expert. I'm just a guy that likes to paint and figure stuff out as I go. I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong way to do this stuff. Just kind of do it and see what happens. I'm definitely not, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. Yeah, just mixing up my paints and putting on this base coat. So this is going to be a really light blue. I probably should have put a little more actual blue in here. Thank you, Nathaniel. Yeah, what I would do when I would paint minis is I would take the blue tack and just put it on top of a bottle of paint I wasn't using, or if I had a vitamin bottle or something, I would put the tack up there and put the D&D mini on it and paint it that way. These are much bigger, and heads don't just sit like that. You got to get my fingers out of the way. You got to try to get up under the neck and everything. Um, yeah, you end up getting paint all over the figure you're using as a holder, but it's a lot easier to maneuver and get around the stuff. So thank you. I hope you find some. If you don't have any fodder pieces, just go find a couple of Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series at a flea market or something that you can find cheap, or whatever is the right scale for what you're working on, and pop their heads off, and there you go. You got a little head holder. Other parts are a little different, like arms and legs. It's not quite as. This is pretty much good for heads, or maybe like shoulder armor pieces or things like that. So yeah. Um, this is, yes, Dan. This is primed. The head was primed. I missed some spots, um, but not enough that I felt like I needed to go back and do more. So originally it was more the pale gray, like this guy here. So this this gnome halfling head from Legion shop. The head is primed and the hands and the feet are not. I don't know if in my light, if you can tell the difference there. The head is primed, so it's a darker gray. And I just got stuff. There's a game shop around here called Adventurers Guild, and they have this stuff that's called Pro Acryl Dark Neutral Gray Primer, is what I use. And I pretty much only use this for 3D printed parts. Or if it's a previously painted part that I think is going to be really drastic of a color that might affect the outcome of the paint I want to put on it. So yeah, I usually don't prime stuff that's already painted, um, like the Legends or the stuff that's already pre-painted. So yeah. And Nathaniel, that was your post about. Oh wait, I'm trying to remember. That wasn't in the Cabal. I think that was a different group. So I'll hold that back unless you elaborate out there. I don't. I'm in too many groups now, and I don't want to cross-germinate information that's not shared in all the places. And I don't even remember if that was you now. I can't remember. You give me goblin names or dinosaur names, stuff like that, Lord of the Rings names, I will remember that stuff all the live long day. But real people, not so much. Yes, I am talking about the pool. Thank you. Okay, that was you. And Nathaniel, if I remember correct, I was in line with you at Zolocon, I believe. Sean and I were waiting to get to the Horseman table, I think, is where I met you. So there's this real quick. The lighting's not that great. Do this hand trick. It's not quite focusing. So yeah, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit and switch over to a different piece. I got a bunch of stuff. That's just the way I work. I'm not really patient, so if I don't have other things to work on, I'll just keep messing with that head. So I got a couple other things here I'm gonna play around with. So I started doing this lantern the other day that I got from Anthony Houseel and Toy Forge. So I painted it with what did I use on that? I used this folk art color shift. It's called Black Flash. I used that as the base, and then I used a yellow to do the lantern, and it's really rough at the moment. I'll have to go in and like do some detailing and everything. But yeah, there's that. There's an old Lord of the Rings piece. I know Jeremy Gerard and other people use these Lord of the Ring pieces. I figured this was off of one of the goblins, and I thought if I painted that up a little bit, I'd use that on one of the heroic characters, maybe on a one of the woodland goblins or something else down the road. All right, so let's see what do we got. All right, so I've got my Jugger Dwarf here from Legion Shop. Sorry, I'm looking in the camera, trying to get this to focus. There we go. Do you thin your paints? I don't thin my paints, Dan. I've heard good things about that. Like I said, I'm super impatient, so I have not really tried it yet. But yeah, no, I don't thin my paints, at least not intentionally. Every now and then, I'll just take a little water if I have clean water in my tray and drop it in there if the paint looks like chunky. But usually it is good for me. So yeah. All right, so Jugger Dwarf. I was originally going to do a Ram Man tribute, but I saw someone did that the other day, and I know I could easily do that. Not easily, but I could also do that. But seeing someone else do it kind of took my need to see it done. So I am going to do something different. Someone else did a completely different paint scheme, and the name they gave their dwarf, Jugger Dwarf, made me think of something I wanted to try. So, and there's a lot of detail. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera that well. But there's so much detail on this thing, just across the shoulders here, under the neck, collar piece and everything. This is a really, really cool piece. If you were able to get one. If not, I'm sure they'll do them again. I did not get the ogre knot for the ogre scale. I just got the Jugger Dwarf because I initially wanted to do a Ram Man, but someone beat me to it. So I'm going to do something different here. I'm just going to lay some base colors down on this. I won't get into all the details in this video, but I'm going to use this folk art enamel gloss finish licorice. It's black. It's a nice shiny black. I use that on my any characters that have like critters that have like the black, that would have like a black nose. I use that. Or if I want to give them a black eye, like not a black eye, but like their pupil is black. Let's see, what brush do I want to use here? Give this a shot. Okay. I did not see. I don't always remember to clean my brushes like in soap and water afterwards, so they get dried out and a little stiff. So I think that happened to this one. So I'm not the best taking care of my stuff. Let's see. So I've got this really nifty light that's got the what do you call it? Magnifying glass on it, but I'm not using that because I feel like it would just be in the way of trying to show what I'm doing. So I'm not going to be super worried about going outside the lines on this because I'm trying to get the base color down. And that's the nice thing about paint. You can always go back over it. Just trying to get this on here nice and even. This is a D&D brush. All right, Nathaniel, have a great time. Have fun. I'm going to be here painting. Let's see. So just trying to get around the eyepiece there. You definitely want to keep moving. At least that's my experience. You don't want to let clumps dry. And again, as you put the paint on, I keep seeing more details that are just in the print that are really cool on this thing. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to be able to finish the whole thing. Cool, Dan. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hope you're getting something here. Learn things to do, not to do, all of the above. It's just it's really weird. Usually I have on a movie or a show on my TV in the next room, or I'll have music playing. So it's weird doing this with just the sound of my air conditioner and the very faint sound of my own voice coming back from the phone, because for some reason I cannot turn the volume all the way down over there. Yeah. So I'm going to hold off a little bit to say what I'm going to name this guy and where it all came from, until I get a little bit more of it done. But yeah, it's kind of a pun or a play on words. Like I said, someone else named it a fun name. Like I said, I'll hold off and say that a little bit later. But you know what? I'm just going to hit this black on everything that's not these medallions or the beard and the face, if I can help it. No, that's all right, Dan. Tried to set this up to where I'd be able to see the comments and do the painting at the same time. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I really like this black licorice from the folk art paint. It's really nice. It's got a really nice shine. I've used it to make some dark browns for a fur on a character that I think turned out pretty nice. And it gave like a nice little bit of a glossy shine that the brown that I mixed with it would not have had otherwise. Yeah, and as of to this point, I haven't been sealing anything. I tried to get some sealer today at Michael's because they said they had the stuff I wanted to get in stock, but they did not. It was some sort of, I don't remember what it's going to be called, so I won't name it. It was a Tester's brand something that was recommended by Jeremy that I was going to get, but I haven't done it with any of my personal stuff yet. But I have a friend, Matthew Dooch from the Legends of Grayskull podcast that I also get to host occasionally, or co-host with them when they do their off-world episodes, who is sending me a couple of things to commission for him. Now, I don't... oh, you're going to do werewolf? Awesome. Those Planetary Dog werewolves, I mean, everything Planetary Dog has, everything from everybody is awesome. But yeah, those werewolf pieces from Planetary Dog are insane. Yeah, they're so cool looking. I would really like to get one of those one day and paint up like a whole... I have to get another ogre scale figure. I'd want to do that in the ogre scale. Just have a giant, massive werewolf would be really cool. But my friend Matthew Dooch from Legends of Grayskull, he's sending me a couple things to do I guess it's kind of commission. He gave me an idea of what he wanted, and I will be working on those eventually. So those are going to be the first things I've painted for anyone else at this point. I don't really have like an open commissions or anything, if anybody is wondering. I don't think I'm at that point with my skills or time to be able to um, have that as an open thing. Hey Josh, thanks for joining. I see you there. Oh, we got three whole folks here. I am surprised. Thanks for stopping by. Um, I started a little bit before 4 and just kind of rambled on for a couple minutes to test this out because I was getting some really bad feedback with the microphone earlier. I sounds like it's doing all right now. So, sorry, I'm painting this out of the camera. Right now, I'm just applying the basic black base on this because I wanted it to be a little shiny. And see how that turns out. Yeah, so I got a couple things coming from Matt to paint up, which I'm excited to play around with and see how that goes. But I wanted to get, that's what I was saying, the sealer. I wanted to get sealant for that so I could, when I ship it back to him, that it's nice and protected in the packaging. But I do have a anti-shine matte varnish and a gloss varnish that I have done on some of the stuff I have done for myself, but it's just a brush on war paint brand stuff. So I will have to, I'll let you know how that stuff goes. Like I said, it was recommended by Jeremy Gerard, so I'm sure it is good stuff, or at least good enough stuff. Dan, what color are you going to do your werewolf? I'm intrigued. Some people have very specific ideas about werewolves are supposed to be and look like. So I'm always curious what people are going to do. Slower close up for a second on the black base. Yeah, Dan, sure, absolutely. So I don't know. Let's see, I'll try it over here. So it's still shiny because it's obviously it's still wet. This is weird holding up a half naked man figure with a dwarf head on it. Yeah, so that's how that's looking so far. I almost have the base completely finished here. There's some I saw. Oh, cool, the Vallejo kit. Cool. I have not used Vallejo yet. I need to get some of those. My friend Tyler, he does Star Wars customs. He does a lot of like Trooper and what do you call it, Mando armor characters. I think he uses not exclusively, but almost exclusively Vallejo paints. What's up, Curtis? So yeah, he really speaks highly. He thins his paints out, and his stuff looks amazing. His stuff looks so good. If you want to check him out, Tyler's on Instagram at Failed Imagineers. If you're into Star Wars stuff, or even just seeing other customs besides Mythic Legions, definitely check his stuff out. He's got some really awesome stuff. So yeah, so there's my Jugger Dwarf base. I don't have, so I'm not using my magnifying glass. I think I've got all the base details now, so let's bring that up here. See if... Oh, that's a loud click. I'll learn all I can. Citadel. Okay. Yeah, Citadel's pretty good. I've used that when I started doing the D&D minis. I used Citadel because that's what my friend who was hosting the painting party was mostly had. Like I said, I'm really cheap, unless it's like a really specific color I want or like the technical stuff. I'll get Citadel. So like I've got where to go? Where's that? Agrelian Earth. So this has got this is a technical. This is supposed to. It's been a while since I've used it, but I think it kind of clumps up. That makes it look like they're tromping through like mud or dirt. I haven't used that since I got it years ago when I made some of my first minis. Nuln Oil is what I use for my black wash from Citadel is really nice, and one of my favorites from them is the Blood for the Blood God blood effect. So it goes on and it just looks like fresh blood, and when it dries it still looks like it's wet and shiny, so that's a really cool effect paint. I also have a bunch of different Army Painter war paints for the different washes, which are really nice. Like I thought black wash would be the right effect for bone. For the what did I do? I did an orc skull, and it's way too dark. I might not have let the bone color dry enough, but I need to go back and kind of dry brush the bone back into it, and then do. I think I just used this soft tone on some other skeletons, and that worked a lot better. Looked more in line with the official Horseman bone colors wash instead of the black. But again, there's no right or wrong way, I don't think. So yeah, the light swing, I've got it right here. Yeah, I just got this last week, and I was doing a lot of detail stuff. Is really great. So I'll probably use that on this to get into the other things, but I just wanted to get that base coat down on that black. Let's see how that went. All right, let's go back to the Frost Giant head. Let's see, I'm gonna. Wow, it's not a dead-on match. It's got a little more purple in the original figure, but I'm pretty pleased with that that color match there for that base blue. Yeah, contrast is really good for skulls, and the teeth. You always need to do the teeth, a different color, and what is it? The sockets, the eye sockets. I like to put extra wash down in there, or really dry brush a different color down in there to give it that to let you feel that depth that you don't get because it's the scale of it's so small. All right, I might hit this with mix a little bit of purple into that original mixture I made and do a second coat with that. Is that Ish? Hello. Thanks for joining in. And by all means, if I say anything incorrect or wrong names or whatever in someone, I am not offended to be corrected. I talk faster than I can think sometimes, and I get ahead of myself, and I just run with it. So, all right, so mixed up a little bit of purple there into that. I don't know if the color is going to show up. Looks really muddy in the camera, but it's just a nice little bit of a lavender tint to that original blue for this guy. So let's see how it goes. So am I using two webcams? I'm actually using my iPad for the one that my head is in, and the paint is my phone. I'm using StreamYard, and I just silenced the microphone on the paint camera. I want to use my laptop because I feel like that would be a better, more stable platform to use. But it's the camera on my laptop, which is only 2 years old. I got it during quarantine. The camera on it is horrible. So I'm using my iPad and my iPhone. I'm not necessarily an Apple junkie, but they work for me. I like their interface and stuff. So for anybody who out there is a super tech person, I apologize if I'm using inferior technology. Fixing a leak, yeah, less money for parts and figures. That is, yeah, I rent, so any plumbing disasters are on my landlord's tab, not mine. So that's nice. But everything else takes my money, so that's why I like that's one of the things I really like about Legions is it's not just collecting stuff to just stick on your shelf. I mean, it is, but because of this stuff, being able to paint these and mess around and, you know, spend a little bit money here and there at the custom shops, getting parts, you can, you know, make alternate heads. So if you do toy photography, which I want to experiment with eventually, I have a pretty nice camera that I used to do some stuff with that I gotta dust off and clean up and get that going again. But you can, you know, you paint a couple heads different colors to fit like the ogre scale. Like you don't want to, like I got Archimedes a while ago, and I don't want to paint that body, but I would like to get some bigger heads that fit that body that I paint into that color scheme. Well, is that what this is? This is Momo. Is this from Wolf King, right? Or is it Legion Shop? Or is it Wolf King through Legion Shop? But yeah, it's super fun. There's not as many armor details, obviously, but I didn't even notice the earring on it until I started painting it earlier. I love all the texture around the horns coming out of his head. It's like a Darth Maul kind of thing going on here. Camera's neck purchase, nice. Okay, so this is from the Mud Thump line. Okay. See, I'm glad you came by, Curtis. I had partial information on that. But yeah, this is fun. I think this is going to look really cool on that Frost Giant body from McFarlane. Because I like the smaller head and the giant shoulders on that thing. I think is a fun combination. All right. So I think that let that dry a little bit. Let's see, what else do I have here? Ooh. No, I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not a huge fan of painting articulated parts like the arms. Also, I need to read all the bios on that God's Fire stuff because that's really cool. I see that on the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me podcast whenever Steven shows off the stuff on there and everything. So elephant head for Archimedes, yeah, I want an elephant head. Someone had the giant ogre scale Illithid, Mind Flayer, Cthulhu-esque heads. Nikki Nicole has done some awesome ones of that just blew my mind. So I saw someone was it Paul's Customs or someone else had a ogre scale crocodile, which I would of course paint up to be green ogre scale or orc ogre colors. But yeah, Teal Titan, they have some awesome stuff. I want to get their what is it, the Troy, the Brad Pitt, um, the see, I'm talking to people and I'm blanking out on stuff. Achilles, the Achilles head that they have. I don't think they call it, I think they just call it the like hero or something like that. For if Romulus makes it into the All Stars, I want to make Achilles. Um, but in the meantime, I did this before the show. Heading the camera a little more? Yeah, sure. Over here? Yeah, Achilles. I kept just wanting to say Troy, but I know I know it's not Troy. That's the movie and the story. Um, let's see if I can. Maybe it's over here. That's kind of good. Again, it still just looks kind of gray in the camera, but in person it looks a little more purpley blue, like the McFarlane body. I'm gonna be putting that one on. But yeah, I did this Vitus head. I based that with the primer and then painted it black because I'm going to put this on my second Black Knight. So I'm going to touch up some of the details, give it a little bit of accent, but I pretty much just wanted to give that shiny black. And I'm probably going to paint the eyes in there, and I'll touch up the plume. But that one's pretty much good to go, I think. I'll just pop that on the Black Knight body over here. And I mean, I think that looks. Where's my background? I think that one turned out really nice. Yes, Curtis, I always paint head on other figure bodies because I don't have those cool fancy clips. Um, but yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. The Vitus head on the Black Knight. I grabbed Vitus at ZoloCon because I wanted. He was there. I should have gotten some more builders, but I grabbed Vitus back in March. But I can't. It's like flying an airplane. The controls are all backwards. Don't worry, I don't fly airplanes. I can't get the camera right, so I'm not that. But yeah, that's that same black I'm putting on the Jugger Dwarf body. It's just that same black licorice enamel from folk art, which I think, again, I don't know if it's picking up quite in the camera, but it looks pretty color matched to the Black Knight figure. Oh yeah, I saw something in your post with the vice clamp. That was cool. Yeah, I just have Marvel Legends, Star Wars figures that I was going to customize until Hasbro made the characters I was going to customize. So I just use them as my bases. All right, so this is that same black, that licorice color on that Jugger Dwarf. So now comes I guess I'll do oh, I missed a bit there. Um, where'd it go? There it is. Clean off my brush here. I got this cool little tray of this, I think it's like a party tray or something from Dollar General or Dollar Tree or something. It was like $1.25. I guess everything in there was $1.25. because I thought it'd be a good water tray, a little more sturdy than the thing I had been using for water. Have you ever tried so? I have not. I have not used so flat paints. I heard. I think someone mentioned. Was it you? Mentioned it during because I never heard of it until I think I did my Mythic conversation with Jeremy a couple weeks ago, and there was talk about the paints, and I had never heard of So Flat, I don't think, until that point. So I'll have to check into those. So you're trying to yeah, I would get parts to do. I was going to use that nebula body, and I got a 3D printed head of Asajj Ventress. I was going to make an Asajj Ventress, and then like a month later, before I broke my paints out, they announced like the Hasbro Asajj Ventress. Yeah, so hey Kevin, awesome. Yes, my painting camera is off center. I just was not holding it in the right place. Sorry about that. Acoustic Wisdom, for anybody watching, that is my friend Kevin. He is an awesome, talented musician that does acoustic music. So if you check his stuff out, I'm sure he would really appreciate it. I'm sure you can find him on any streaming service. Check his stuff out. It's really cool. It's really cool. Cool stuff. Thanks for joining, Kevin. Yeah, Sherry recommended the Magicon. Oh, cool. Yeah, I talked to her, but I didn't think to ask her about paints because I'd gotten some custom parts there, and I was so overwhelmed with everything. I didn't. I wasn't like in the. I was borderline fanboying, even though I didn't know who anybody was to be fanboying about anyone particularly. It was just like, I ended up just dorkily talking about my experience painting D&D minis really small. So I didn't ask her about paints. So yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check the So Flats out. And yeah, yeah. Let's see. I did for Marvel Legends. I did a Megan from Excalibur and a Kitty Shadowcat from Excalibur, and they just did those last year. So I actually like the Kitty head I did better than theirs. So I put that on the new Kitty body because it had the puffy sleeves and everything. So all right, getting all distracted here. All right, I have another head here that I think eventually I might try to do this whole body and turn this into a vampire, like kind of hound type character. I got this head. I feel like that came as an extra from Planetary Dogs, but I could be wrong as to where that head came from. Again, apologies if I don't remember or say the right ones. But I really like this lean wild child body with this head, and it's got like the collar thing, and I've got some craft chain that I can put with him to have him be like a hound to Alithia or something. But again, it's got so many joints that I just don't like painting jointed stuff. I'm too impatient. That's one of my flaws. So see, that's vampire. I want to make him a vampire, or should I do him Fury? What do you guys think? Should I make a vampire head out of this, or should I make it a red Fury something? I don't know. Oh wow, I can't believe it's almost been an hour already. That's crazy. I don't know if this is going to kick me off at a certain time frame or what, but see what happens here. So any thoughts? I'll do something else for a couple minutes. Any thoughts on painting this white vampire or red white vampire? Okay, we'll do white. All right, very easy. Where is that white? I'm going to use this Apple Barrel Snow White as my base. I have a really fun pearl white metallic that I'll use to put it off. It's got like a nice sheen to it. Doesn't make it sparkly like a Twilight vampire, but it does give it a nice effect. I did that on my Minotaur. Um, Vampire Minotaur I made. It was one of the first customs I did for Legions. This is the most difficult part of this process, I think, is picking the right brush and not necessarily the one I just used for something else. So, Curtis, I asked this in there, and someone's trying to work on a combo for me. Do you have any recommendations for yellow to match the Milena yellow on the PowerCon debut Evil Lyn looking figure? Do you have any suggestions for that, or did you already answer that in the Cabal? Do you think the So Flat yellow would be close? All right, so I'm just doing white on top of this primered gray. Now this white, I'm not really a fan of this white. I don't know why I'm using this. This is probably one I should probably thin out a little bit or mix, but I'm not. I'm gonna try not to get too close into the mouth on ones like this when the mouth color is gonna be definitely a different color than the outside. Yeah. Oh, I'll center again. There we go. It's a little better. When I'm using straight or the paint straight out of the bottle, I'll try to shake it up good and get a lot into the cap, and just use the cap as my paint reservoir until I either am done with it or I need to shake it up and get some more up in there. Save the palette for mixing. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I will wait and see what I think Dennis Derby is trying to help me out and come up with some ideas for me. So, Josh, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you stopping by and joining us for a bit tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend as well. Let's see. Yeah, this white, it just doesn't, it's not very smooth. And it's not going to show up in the camera. It's too blurry. It does not go very smooth. I keep forgetting that until I start brushing with it every time, which is fine. It's just a base coat. So yeah, again, this is really weird doing this and talking. Like I said, I don't know if you heard earlier, but I normally have music on or a movie or something. But obviously, I can't do that because YouTube would take this down in a heartbeat. But yeah, I usually like listening to, when I'm painting, I like to listen to movie scores or instrumental-esque music or various like world music stuff that's not necessarily in English. Like I really like listening to the Who, the like Mongolian throat singers. That's Wolf Totem is a pretty fun album. Usually listen to the music too, Curtis. Yeah. Sometimes if I'm doing it for a long time, yes, I actually, Dan, I was just about to say I'm going to stop doing this. You caught that before I did. I'm going to stop painting on Swan because this white, the way it's going, if I keep brushing at it, it's just going to streak over itself. So I'm going to put that one down for a little bit. So yes, medieval metal. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, I saw some people posting the dwarf metal or something. You listened to the Who yesterday? Yeah, I have like a mix. I call it a playlist on my phone called "To Create Worlds." I listen to it when I paint and when I write. which I've been doing more painting than writing currently because editing my book um, takes a lot more intelligence and focus. Toy reviews and shows like this. Cool. Well, thanks for joining. I'm glad this made the viewing cycle for you. I'll have to check those bands out, Curtis. See how they go. But yeah, it's movie soundtracks. I found this group called thanks to Reels over on Instagram called Two Steps from Hell, which is kind of just music, instrumental music that sounds cinematic and epic kind of stuff. So that's been really fun to listen to. So I just put all that stuff in a list and hit shuffle and go through all sorts of stuff. Also, if I get home early enough on Tuesday nights from work, I try to paint while I'm watching, what do you call it? You can't listen to music while you're painting yet. Okay. See, I grew up living out in the country. It was too far to walk anywhere, ride a bike anywhere, fun. So I would be in the basement all summer playing with Legos or whatever, and I'd always have movies on. And then when I discovered music, I would flick back and forth between movies and music. So, all right, I'm going to come back to this Momo head. I think that, again, on the camera, it just looks like flat gray, but it's definitely got like a bluish purple tint. Let's see if we can put it on the... It's not quite there, but I think with a wash and the details, I think that's pretty close. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the basement. It's where all my Legos and the TV I used were. So I would, one summer I watched Prince of Thieves just like on repeat all day long. It would just hit the end of the tape and rewind while I was building with my castle Legos and stuff. So yeah, I've always had something on in the background. So today is really weird just hearing my own voice and the air conditioner running. So I really appreciate the comments. Otherwise, I feel like I'd be losing my mind. What color eye do you think this guy would have? So Frost Troll, Frost Giant. What kind of eyes do we think he gets? Red? Yellow? I feel like every critter I've been doing lately has been yellow. I don't know. Black? Icy white? I don't know. We'll think about that for a minute. Let's get that. Let's see. Maybe dry brush a little bit of, maybe mix a little more purple. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to take a little bit of the light blue that I have mixed already with the purple, scoop some of it out with a toothpick. Solid color, white or black, probably. Okay. I think black would probably look good on him, yeah? Black eyes. Drop a little bit more purple in there. So this is one way I'll like reuse the colors I'm already using. I'll just scoop out a little bit into the next dish and then mix it up to get a different tone or a different accent, still using that initial color I used. So this is a lot more purple. I'm just trying to get a little bit of this and do some of that, everybody's favorite dry brushing to it. It's to hit some of those details and stuff on this guy. And where's I like using my more rough brushes for the dry brushing. Black eyes for sure. Hey, Savage Viking. I apologize if I don't recognize your YouTube handle from somewhere else, but thanks for stopping in. I will definitely do black eyes on this guy. So, all right, I'm going to hit a little bit of dry brush here, just kind of gloss over some of these details a little bit. So that's what I do for me. I'll dip it in there in the paint, and then I hit the edge of my paper plate here and thin it out for that dry brush. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty cool, I think. The purple's adding just a little bit of life into this guy, because he's not a zombie. I feel like the red always adds a little bit of warmth and life into characters, you know? The blood, even though it's, I guess, technically blue under your skin, right? But it's a frost giant. Who knows what color their blood is? A little of that purple back behind the ears, and get some across the top of the dome here. Hey, Skelevator. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can see that, Dan? I don't know if that's... Let's come over here. Man, I don't know. You guys, I'll post pictures in the Cabal or on my Instagram of this stuff when I'm done working on it. When I'm done with the video, and then when I get it finished, you can see the different finished beats. I think that adds just enough life to it. Cool. All right. Well, I'm glad you can see it, because my cameras are not being nice to me. All right. So it's a little bit of that. Clean the brush so it doesn't get dry and crunchy. Pardon me. I'm gonna take a sip. It's weird. I pulled the YouTube up on my TV in the living room just so I could visually see to make sure it went live, and it's about 5 seconds behind. So I'm assuming that's what you guys are seeing 5 seconds after I do this stuff. So it's weird seeing my own giant furry head on the TV in there. All right, black. I'm going back to the that licorice black that I've been using on that armor stuff. I'm gonna get my super duper fine brush, Army Painter's brush. This is a number BR7014. I don't know. It's super tiny. I probably could use a slightly larger one. And try to paint these eyes without. I mean, they're nice big eyes, so I might be able to do this without my magnifying glass lamp. Nah, nobody needs to see my face that big. Maybe my mom. Yeah, black was the right choice. Now, this is a little rough. I'm going to have to go back and do the cleanup details on it afterwards, just because I'm not that coordinated to do this video thing and the very fine details on these eyes, but I'll show you here in a second. Yeah, black I think was definitely the right choice for these eyes. Oh man, that's actually kind of creepy. I love it. So yeah, I know if I were to be looking at this under the magnifying glass, I would see all the details I messed up or overshot with the black. But there's his eyes painted black. Bring it over here, maybe that's a little better. I always see them do this, but I never, yeah. My hands, I don't know if you're seeing that, they're a little shaky. Yeah, doing this actually kind of helps. It's very, this is very relaxing for me. It's a little different doing the talk. Actually, I'm enjoying doing the talking. It'd be more fun if people were actually, I mean, how fun it would be to sit around in person and watch someone, but thank you guys. Yeah, I got that. Let's see. The little bumps on his head, should they be bone or should they be like ice crystals? They're not transparent, but I could always hit him with like a more electric blue to make his little things up here look a little different. Or bone, what do you guys think? I'll think about that for a moment. I'll get some red into this purple. The zooming paint class would be awesome. Bone scale. All right, we'll do bone on the head. So now I'm gonna make his tongue inside of his mouth color. So I'm adding a little bit of apple barrel Tuscan red to that secondary purple I already did, since I think I hit everything I needed to do with that dry brush for now. If not, I'll just figure it out later. I think I'm going to add a little bit of brown to this, make his tongue a little more grody looking. Let's throw Icy Spikes would look cool. I don't know. If I could make them look transparent, I would probably try to do the Icy Spikes and use my transparent paint trick. Which I was going to get some a D&D mini out and show that, because I told Jeremy about that. So you do is you take Elmer's glue or whatever generic brand, it doesn't have to be Elmer's, but that basic white white glue, and you mix it with food coloring. Skelly. Oh. What was I saying? Oh, for clear stuff. So if there's obviously not a lot of stuff that's transparent in Legion stuff, but like this sword, I have this sword to go with Hagnon. Now it's not quite the right color as him, but I figured since he is all transparent and glow in the dark ghosty, he should have a ghost weapon, right? So if I were to do this in a different color, if it was more clear instead of having this blue tint to it, I would mix that glue with a food coloring to make whatever color I wanted this to be through. So when that glue dries, it dries clear, but then it takes on the pigment of whatever food coloring you added to it. And so you get, it's not transparent, but you get that kind of slightly translucent look to it. So there's an easy way to do it without really just thinning your paints down. So there's the, use that for his tongue. All right, so I'll try to do, I don't know, we had bone and then some votes for the Icy Spikes. I'll try the Icy Spikes, and if they don't turn out right, I will switch them to bone. How's that sound? All right, so I'll try to tip this back a little bit so you can see. Just getting in there with this kind of burgundy for the tongue. Trying to be real careful not to hit the lips and stuff. I'll probably hit the lips with a slightly different color just to accent them a little bit more when I'm done. That's when I get more detail. I don't be using that magnifying thing. Yeah, the black eyes look really cool on this. Good call on the black eyes. Again, I know when I look at this stuff through the magnifying glass, or even if I don't, if I just take pictures of it, that's been my biggest lesson, is that once I photograph them, and it's usually just with my iPhone to post on the Cabal or whatever, I'm like, oh man, look at those details I missed. Or there's one skeleton head I did that has a helmet and a strap, and I totally missed the strap going around the chin. I just thought it was like leftover like ligament or something from the flesh. Trying to get in the roof of the mouth here. So I'm gonna have to get the teeth and stuff pretty good, but try to get, there we go. So there's his tongue. Looks like he's starting to turn into somebody here. Tiny white pupils. We'll see. I might wait and do that with like a really fine brush under the light, the magnifying light later, when I do the touch up. Someone got it. Maybe they saw it because someone else, but I saw it because someone else posted a picture of it and it was painted. And I pulled mine off the shelf and I was like, there it is. And I touched it up. So, yeah, I'm liking that. That's looking pretty good. I've got a light like right here, so it's really washing stuff out, I think. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. So let's pop him back on this body just to see what he looks like. I really like this. I think that looks really cool on that body. If I can just figure out how to line up my camera here. Those big black eyes sticking out of that tiny little head on this body, I think looks really cool. So yeah, let's pull that back off of there. And all right, so we'll try some Icy Spikes. All right, so what am I going to do for Icy Spikes? I've got this color shift. That might be fun. Maybe I'll try this color shift blue flash. Maybe I'll try that on the spikes. This is really cool. I don't know, again, how this is looking. But I love this color shift stuff. I know it's just the cheap Walmart stuff, but I really like it. It works really good. I'm sure the higher end stuff looks probably even better. But let's give this a shot on these spikes here. It's not going to be completely dry brush here. Try not to overdo it and hit the main part of the head. So this is when it starts getting really small like this is when like my concentration goes super high, so I apologize if I go quiet here. Yeah. Give me some color shift. White probably. Yeah, yep. Curtis, you nailed it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Kind of give it like that frosty top at the end. I'll probably use that that metallic pearl white because it's really cool when it catches the light in the right way. So now my next thing would be, normally when I'm doing this stuff, I'm thinking of stories and ideas for these characters that I'm painting. Now this one, I'm not too, like, I don't know, I'll probably get there and come up with a fun story for him. I might reference, I mean, he's not going to follow obviously the God's Fire because he's not being raised with the mud thumps. Yeah, I'm really digging that that blue. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know what you guys are seeing. On my end, it's not looking all that. The camera is not looking great, but in color shift was a good choice. I used this on a dwarf I did that I'm gonna have to touch up because it was the first time using the color shift, and I didn't do like a base coat. I just did it right onto bronze dwarf body or something, and it doesn't quite. It looks like someone didn't know what they were doing, painted it, which I didn't. So, yeah, that man, that's I really like that. Yep, yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I got a couple more of these tips to do here. I might let them dry really good before I hit the white on it, just so it doesn't mix in. That's something I'm trying to be more patient about, is waiting, really letting stuff dry before I do like my washes and like the more technical details and stuff. Just because I'm usually so excited to do it and impatient that I just rush right through everything. But I'll come back over this after the video's done and touch up all the fine details and stuff that I might be missing. But yeah, this is such a cool head. So thanks again. I think I got this from Wolf King Customs. Like, I think it was sent as an extra from an order a while back. And for the longest time, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was going to put it on the. I have a super shredder. Dan, yes, I normally do the wash last. That's just the way I do it. I don't know if that's. Again, I don't know if that's the right way, but that's the way I do it. Because it really helps like accent and bring out all the little details that you probably don't even see. So this one I'll probably do I have a blue tone wash, so I might see how that looks. I'll test it out on the inside of his head or something. The inside of the neck piece here, just to see how it looks on this paint. Because I don't think I've used the blue wash before, but we carried the army painter stuff at the comic shop I worked at, so I picked some up a while ago. Because I figured, well, if I'm using all these different washes, I might as well get all the colors that we had available. Yeah, Wolf King Len is awesome. With so many of the sites, there's so much cool stuff from these guys and ladies that it's just amazing, amazing stuff. I just got in some dwarf pants from Brian Peacock, Heavy Hammer. So those are really cool, and they work on the 2.0 female legs as well, which is, so I got two pairs of pants, one for a dwarf, one for a female character that I've been working on. And I just need to find the right head to put on her. I don't have quite the right head for her yet. She's based on a character in my book that I want to get just right. So let's see if I can. And I don't know. I don't think it's showing up at the blue. I can't. Why can't I remember where the camera is? Those blue tips look pretty cool on this guy. Oop. I almost just dropped him in the water. Yeah, Dan, washes. So once these are good and dry, I get a nice, it's not necessarily a coarse brush, but a rougher brush like this one. Let's see. That's pretty rough. This is the one I usually use for my wash. And you just squirt a little bit. You almost do, I almost do it like dry brushing. I'll squirt out the wash into the palette. Or for like the Citadel, I just use the lid. And you want to make sure the washes are really good and shaken up. And maybe I'll try the blue in his ear just to see what the blue looks like. Because the ear is pretty dry. So let's see how this goes. And again, if I don't like the way it looks, I can just wipe it off before it dries and paint over it. So let's see, I'm trying to get this. Oh yeah, that's going to be cool. So you just kind of let it pool, brush on, you kind of let it pool into the crevices and stuff. Kind of like that, and just see how it goes. Because it grabs, like on the back of his ear here, it grabs kind of like the little folds in the skin. So you can kind of get. Oh, I keep thinking the camera's on the other end of my phone. Yeah, it's not really showing up there. But I'll take some pictures and post in the Cabal and stuff later. See, so because I'm doing this, I didn't let that paint dry enough. I don't know if that's showing up, but the ear is starting to flake away there a little bit, which is fine. I'll just dry that off, let it dry for a bit, and then I still have that original paint mix I did, and I'll just go back to that and touch that up. So yeah, that's why I wait to do the washes, because I do that if I don't. So yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, it's not done. I'm going to do some more accents. I'm going to do the teeth and stuff. But we've been rolling for what, almost an hour and a half. So basically dirty water. Yeah. I haven't used the Earth Shade. That's cool. I'll have to check that one out. All right, let's go back to, I'll do this real quick before I wrap up. I'll probably wrap this up here right around 5:30 my time. Oh, there's the what am I doing? I'm going to do white. I'm going to do that pearlescent white for the vampire. Why did I open it? Oh man, this one always bubbles up. So yeah, this pearlescent white, it's the same kind of effect as the color shift, but it's not color shift, but it's got like a metallic to it. And I'm just going to go right onto this vampire, and I like that kind of mother of pearl, pearlescent vibe it gives. Like, it's, I don't know, it just makes the vampires feel. So I've only used this on the Minotaur that I made into the Taurian head. I put on head and neck. I put on a Baron Voligar. But yeah, it just, I don't know, it just adds like this eerie texture to it with that pearlescence. You know, it just makes it feel like the skin is really tight. Or for the bull, for the Minotaur, like it just made it look like really lush hair or fur on him, which I guess is kind of weird for a vampire, but sleek, I guess, is the word, sleek. So yeah, there's that pearlescent finish to that. I'll probably have to do a second coat of the pearlescent, let that dry real good, because again, that base layer white was not, I rushed that. I did not, I got to get rid of that bottle. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that white, where is it? And chucking that over there and throwing it away and not using it again. The white, Curtis, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, man. Savage Viking, the paint is Folk Art brand, metallic pearl white. Again, just got it at Walmart. Most of my paints are from Walmart. So yeah, there it is. There's the first layer of that pearlescent. So yeah, Dan, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate you being here. Hope you got some stuff out of it. Feel free to hit me up with some messages. I really appreciate everybody that came by and watched, and anybody that's watching this on the replay. I really appreciate it. I'll turn off this side camera here real quick. But yeah, thank you very much for coming out. I had a lot of fun doing this. If there's enough interest, I'll do it again sometime. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Got my ice troll, my vampire head, and the start of my Jugger Dwarf taken care of. So that'll give me some stuff to play with for the rest of the day. I really appreciate you guys coming in. and have a great rest of your weekend. Cabal above all, and thanks for watching on Just Shelve It. Catch you next time.